Hello and a warm welcome to the Kimeno podcast. My name is Hlengiwe Motaung. Today's topic really hits home for me as I've questioned it numerous times on the most defining moments of my life. We talk about accepting your call. Most people toil and struggle in search for their purpose, but the chances are it's already been revealed, multiple times even. The issue lies at how you responded to it. The responses sound a little like, surely this isn't what I need to be doing. Someone else is already doing it. I'll just look for something else, something decent for myself. Imagine if Oprah thought this way when her call to start her talk show came to her. Imagine the loss of impact there would have been if the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, but there are so many other ministers in the world. I'll just settle for a simple life here in the Bahamas. How about Nelson Mandela or even Dr. Martin Luther King? Imagine if they declined the call for their lives because someone else is already pursuing it. Better yet, imagine if Jesus said, nope, I'm not dying for anyone. Let them continue with sacrificial offerings. I'm well off here in heaven. What a tragedy that would have been. We often get terrified at the idea of what people will say when we occupy our position. We're full of doubt, and that hinders us from living in our purpose. There was a man called Peter in the Bible. Peter was one of Jesus' disciples. On a certain day, the Bible says in Matthew 14:22, immediately Jesus made the disciples get into a boat and go on ahead of him on the other side, while he dismissed the crowd. After he had dismissed them, he went up on a mountainside by himself to pray. Later that night, he was there alone, and the boat was already a considerable distance from the land, buffeted by waves because the wind was against it. Shortly before dawn, Jesus went out to them, walking on the lake. When the disciples saw him walking on the lake, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus immediately said to them, "Take courage, it is I, don't be afraid." "Lord, if it is you," Peter replied, "tell me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. Then Peter got down out of the boat, walked on the water, and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and caught him. "You of little faith," he said, "why did you doubt?" For a moment there, Peter had it. He was literally walking on water. How supernaturally powerful and divine that must have been. It was short-lived though, due to his lack of courage. His pitfall was doubting that he'd get to Jesus. The issue was his focus on the waves, the strong wind, the other disciples on the boat who were watching on. Those are the naysayers and the fear that we need to shut out. I urge you today to step out in faith towards your destiny, to not look to the left nor to the right, not to fear. Boldly set your eyes towards the mark of the high calling of Jesus. Only you have been uniquely designated to perform your purpose in a way that no one else can. One thing, though, that will bring you closer to discovering this divine mandate is through continual seeking and living a life that is pleasing to God, a righteous life. This will draw you nearer to your purpose. But how do I then maneuver when I'm in this purpose of mine? And where do I even begin, you ask? God has equipped you with everything that you need to thrive in your purpose. He has linked it to your personality, your height, that goofy sense of humor, even those not so favorite attributes about yourself. You are perfect and fit for your purpose. Better yet, God has put his provision in your purpose, so you will lack nothing there. I challenge you today to take the step of faith just like Peter and accept the calling of God. There is someone out there banking on your obedience. Well, that certainly felt like a mouthful, but it was sure to be said. I really hope that you become inclined to hearing the voice of the Lord. My wish for you is to live a fulfilled life in your purpose. Until next time, be good and do good.